Let me say that
Tell us
again
more
so it's
things
clear.
about physics that you don't
If you're
understand.
surfing on a wave, a really giant wave, that's going the opposite way to the Earth's spin, and then you jump off that wave onto the water, you should be flung back the other way.
What would make that happen?
Because the Earth is turning the other way.
That's a childish observation.
No, you're going one way on a surfboard.
Childish.
Your wave's going one way, the Earth's turning the other way.
So if I'm on a flatbed truck and I'm going to jump across to the truck next to me going the same direction at the same speed, what'll happen?
No, I'm saying the wave is going
No,
the
no, no,
opposite.
no, 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 no. Answer that.
What?
You got two flatbed trucks. There's a flatbed truck right next to you.
No.
The other one with the same
That's
speed. No,
different.
no, 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 no. Yeah. Answer that, Tom Scumbag.
No, that's different. Because the air is moving with that wave that direction. So whatever air is in that area is moving the opposite direction that the Earth is spinning. That's why the wave is moving in that direction.
What are you moving? Like 6 mile an hour, maybe 8 mile an hour?
No, big giant wave that's being blown by the wind, by the air, that way,
Yeah.
opposite way of the Earth. So now you're not with the Earth's rotation.
That's 6 miles an hour with reference to the air. So you've got a 6 mile an hour breeze blowing on it. That's not very steady.
That's going to be more than 6 miles an hour.
What speed will it be?
Why are you stipulating that the air is going along with the direction of the wave when you're trying to come to this conclusion that it could be flying the opposite direction too?
Just trying to figure out how we can detect motion on the Earth. We don't seem to have any devices that detect motorbikes.
Gyroscope.
We don't have any devices that detect motion of the Earth.
Gyroscope.
Oh, what, a gyroscope?
Gyroscope.
Yeah, but we can't manipulate the independent variable, so we have to throw that out away.
You don't
What's
need any
the
of that to observe something.
variable in an observation?
No, because if the gyro's deviation is caused by Earth's rotation, we need to manipulate Earth's rotation to show effect, cause and effect.
That's
No, you don't.
how an observation works. So go ahead and
No.
either
You can measure something
what
without
the
knowing the cause.
independent variable in an observation is, or abandon your nonsense.
Well, no, you just hypothesize that the Earth is spinning. Yeah?
Okay.
No
What's the
hypothesis.
What's the hypothesis in an observation?
Hypothesis is Earth is spinning.
Verify that is move your gyroscope to another place on Earth. If the spin changes,
Or the measurement, which you just did.
you'll know that it's spinning.
No, we don't know if the Earth is spinning. We're just assuming.
We do know. We do know. We do know.
How can we know without
It's
looking at a
directly
spinning
measured.
Earth?
Why is the stars precessing?
You've never seen a spinning Earth.
I said, why are the stars precessing?
I don't know about the stars. The Earth is not spinning because
see, that's your problem, KIMO. You just selectively look at things. You don't look at the exact evidence for what you're trying to disprove.
How are you connecting the stars with the Earth spinning?
Precession. Why do every star in the sky coordinates keep changing on a daily basis?
Yeah, how are you connecting that to Earth spin?
Precession.
How are you connecting this to make you think, you look at the stars, you think the Earth is moving?
You have to explain precession then.
Dude, you said the Earth is moving because of the stars.
I just explained it, and you just didn't understand what I just explained to you.
Right.
So what is precession?
That's the stars moving around.
What a goofy answer.
I mean, what more do you want?
How about an actual correct answer?
Nobody knows anything about the sky or the stars. We just know the stars are
changing
moving
on
around.
a daily basis. KIMO, why are the stars' coordinates changing on a daily basis?
We have no idea.
Yes, we do.
What's the answer?
Precession.
Why do they precess?
Because the Earth is spinning like a top.
Right.
No,
So
it's
that's
not.
that now we're
Yes,
there.
it is.
So you're assuming
If
because
not,
the
then
stars.
what is it is causing this procession?
Stars, again, the coordinates of the stars change every day.
This
So
is an
why are they
assumption.
changing every day?
All right.
Right
Show me a
ascension
spinning
and
ball then. Let me
right
see the spinning
ascension
Earth.
and declination of the stars. Why is the right ascension and declination of each and every star in the sky changing every day?
I have no idea.
I just explained it.
Yeah. So show
That
us the
tells me
spinning Earth
everything
then.
about you, KIMO.
Yeah. Stop explaining your model and show them in the real world.
It's real. You can observe it.
You can observe the spinning Earth.
It's real.
You can tell the right ascension declination of each star in the sky keeps changing every day.
What
That
does
means
that have to
that's
do with a spinning
the same
Earth?
thing as latitude and longitude, except they use right ascension and declination in the sky. So that means each and every stellar object in the sky changes on a daily basis.
Oh my gosh.
And the only reason it's doing it is because of precession.
What does that have to do with the Earth?
And it
Wait a
has
second.
everything
What about
to do
his
with Earth.
explanation or his answer for what procession is? He has not been thoroughly mocked and ridiculed for that piece of shit answer.
What does it have to do with the Earth?
You don't understand that the Earth spins like a top?
No, the Earth does not spin. It motions.
Then you have to explain precession.
No, I don't have to explain it. We
I
don't
know
have a
because
model.
you don't like to, because it goes against your grain. It proves that the Earth is not flat. That's why you don't want to go that direction.
No, it means that we don't know what it is. It doesn't prove if the Earth is flat.
And
round,
you don't
moving,
know
or
what it
spinning.
is, KIMO. You want to be like you've done for the last 6 years, just be totally stupid all the time.
Go on, then, give us a look
Because
at what
that's
you know.
what everybody enjoyed. That's why everybody enjoys you on here, because they know how stupid you are. So they get a kick out of listening to your stupid answers.
All right, let's have a look at your model.
No,
Nobody has
we're
been to
actually
the
looking
sky.
at your model, or lack thereof, and lack of explanation for these series of observations.
Let's have a look at your stupid answer for what is procession.
Do you have a model?
I gave it to you.
You think the stars rotating is procession. You're a moron.
Where is your model so we can see it?
KIMO, when you look at every star in the sky, if you look at coordinates of that star for today, you go back to that same star tomorrow, it's not going to be in exactly the same right ascension and declination for that star. Explain that.
No, we don't have a model.
Yeah, I know you don't have one. Flat Earth does not have a model.
Right. So where can we see the Earth spinning?
Right ascension and declination.
Well, let's have a look then. Show us. Post it.
It's a reality. KIMO, you don't look at this stuff anyway. I could show you 100,000. I showed you the guys on Mount Everest not being able to breathe, and you didn't accept that explanation either.
Yeah, I accepted. I gave you an answer. Now let's see.
You did not accept it. You accept your goofy answer that they're all out of shape.
We're stuck
and
here.
you gave
We're stuck
no
here.
evidence that they
And
were
we're
out
not
of shape.
getting
All
out.
right. Let's go back to what you were saying about evidence for a spinning ball. You have that.
I did. I gave it to you.
Where is it?
It's called Lack of Understanding by KIMO.
So there is no evidence that the Earth is spinning then.
No, it means KIMO has lack of background and education to discern what I'm saying is correct.
Yeah, but whether I understand it or not, you can still post the evidence.
No, you can go to school and find out exactly why it's going on.
Yeah, but
Take
whether
the
I go
lab
to school or not, you can still post the evidence for a spinning ball.
Right, but
show
what's the
me
use,
evidence.
KIMO?
Show me the evidence.
So we
that
know what makes
KIMO,
him
let me
believe
finish
that
my
the Earth is a
topic.
spinning ball.
KIMO, I said, show me the evidence that the people climbing Mount Everest were not in shape. Show me physical evidence that these climbers were not in shape to make it to the top of Mount Everest.
That doesn't prove a
Right,
spinning
not
ball.
just not in shape. Also, you said they were sick. So can
Sick,
you provide
yeah, right.
evidence for that too, KIMO?
Yeah,
You haven't answered that. You have not answered that, KIMO, at all. You have not given us any physical evidence saying that the climbers going up Mount Everest were out of shape or sick. No evidence at all. We had to accept your word.
That doesn't
I just
prove a
walked into
spinning
this.
ball.
Is this KIMO actually saying the air is not thinner as you get up?
Exactly.
Oh my god, that's so funny. He's obviously never left his apartment. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard. Just go hike up a mountain yourself. Jesus Christ.
This still doesn't prove a
Well,
spinning
Chemo thinks
ball.
spinning is a shape.
Do we have evidence of the Earth moving?
Do we have evidence that mountain climbers are out of shape?
That's my opinion.
Good.
You
We
don't
got
have
it
to-
We
down.
have evidence
We
that you
got it
know
down.
anything.
You don't have to go to
Chemo.
Mount Everest. You don't have to go to Mount Everest. You can go up 4,000 meters and feel it really easily.
All right,
It's
is
easily
the spinning
accessible.
ball
So
opinion?
get it out of
or
your
is it-
apartment and prove it to yourself. It's
Is it
trivial.
a fact or is it opinion?
Oh, I got facts. Well, all I'm hearing from Chemo is opinions and half-baked lies.
Look, we've got a question for you. Where is the evidence for the spinning ball?
As I said, just find out the exact coordinates of each and every star in the sky.
Go on then.
Explain to me why it's different the following
Well,
day.
show me then that these stars that you're talking about.
Every star in the sky.
Show me.
Go look at a star atlas from 1950, compare it to a star atlas in 2000, and explain
Show
to
me
me why.
then. Show me these stars you're talking about.
Shut up, Chemo, because this was
Chemo,
already
do what I
about
say.
an
Don't
hour
be such a
ago.
lazy ass.
So you want me to prove your claim?
No, because you don't understand it. You don't have the background to debate it. You don't understand it at all. You don't
Whether I
have the
understand it or
background.
not, you can still post the evidence that makes you believe the
No,
Earth is
that's
spinning.
lazy. Go to the library, get a star atlas from 1950, get a star atlas from 2000, and explain to me why the numbers are different from one atlas to the other.
We don't have a model.
Chemo, you're lazy. You're fucking lazy.
We don't have a model. You do.
You're lazy, Chemo. You're very lazy.
Well, we don't have a model. We don't care to have a model. You do.
Is that all you do? Is your research on YouTube?
Well, we don't make claims that we can't back up. That's why.
I made the backup. I told you
You're
exactly
making
how
a claim that the Earth moves. Where's the evidence for it?
I gave it to you, and you had the lack of understanding to know what I'm talking
What
about.
did you post?
I didn't post anything. I told you to go to the library. You can go to the library to get information as well, besides looking on a stupid computer.
But you didn't post any evidence that the Earth is moving.
Flat Earth wins.
Skipper, you didn't post any evidence to support the Earth is moving.
And you didn't support any evidence that the mountain climbers going up Mount Everest
Yeah, it's
were
my
sick
opinion, that's why.
and sick and dying.
My
You
opinion.
didn't post any evidence.
It's my opinion. It's not wrong or right.
But you never stated it that way.
Your opinion is not wrong or right, Skipper.
That's not
But
true
you
either.
never
It's
never stated it as being an opinion.
Well, I didn't provide you any facts, did I? So obviously it's opinion.
Then you should
Obviously.
how would we know exactly how Chemo
Obviously,
thinks?
if someone
All I
doesn't
hear is
provide
lies.
evidence, then it's just their opinion, right? Obviously.
Tell me what is wrong with going to the library?
I'm saying if someone just
What
offers
is
their
wrong with going
advice
to the
or opinion
library?
and they don't back
What
it
is
with
wrong
evidence,
with
what
you
else can it
going?
be?
What is wrong with you going to the library?
What in the library? How will that show me the Earth is spinning?
You don't have a car?
I'm asking. I go to the library.
Do you have a car?
I go to the library. Then what?
Well, go to the library, find a star atlas from the year 1950, find a star atlas from the year 2000, then explain to me why the coordinates of each and every star is different from one book to the other.
Will that show a spinning Earth?
That's precession.
No, but will it show the Earth spinning?
What is precession?
We're talking about the Earth.
That is Earth. What is precession?
We will see the Earth precessing.
Based on what we can see with what's going on with the stars and the coordinates in the sky.
I'm talking about the Earth moving.
That is, why do you think the Earth is precessing? Do you understand?
That's what I'm asking. Can we see the Earth moving?
Do you understand the word precession?
Do you have evidence for the Earth moving?
I did. Precession.
Well, let's see it then.
Go to the library.
In a book, proves the Earth is spinning.
It proves that the stars change from one year to the next, to one day to the next, so forth.
Why don't you read the Bible instead?
If you understand the word precession,
why don't you read the Bible instead?
That deals with, what's wrong with that type of evidence?
What's wrong with the Bible? Why don't you read that?
I've read it.
Yeah, why don't you read that and believe that?
Why don't you go to school and get educated in the sciences so you can have a better way to conduct a debate?
Why don't you go
Because
to
you don't
Sunday
have-
school
You
and learn
don't have
about the
any
Bible,
science
learn about
background.
God?
You
and
don't have any. You don't have any science background.
You don't have
at
any
all.
evidence of a spinning ball.
Yes, I do. I just gave
Well,
it to you.
provide it then in a book in a library.
Yeah, go to the library, and you
I
won't
just
do it
told you
because
we
you
can
don't
get
have
the
a card.
Bible if you
You don't
want a
have a
book. If
card,
you want to
do you?
read something, read the Bible.
Aha.
See,
So do you have any evidence that the Earth is moving?
I gave it to you, KIMO.
That's not evidence. That's an opinion.
It's not an opinion.
Right, back it up with practical evidence.
Or there's another way to do it. You can download Stellarium.
Stellarium's a
And then,
computer
look-
program. We don't live in a computer.
Yes, it is, and it gives you the coordinates of every star in the sky, and it shows you the coordinates
Yeah,
of
it's
the
just a
sky
computer
back in the
game.
year.
We don't live in a computer game.
Yeah, and we don't live on the internet either.
Just a game. Yeah, exactly.
You know, that game reflects actual reality. When you look at the Stellarium, everywhere on Earth, at every time on Earth, the Stellarium is always right.
It's just a game.
Therefore, you
play
can use
around.
Stellarium to have
It's not a game, KIMO. You got it wrong again.
Got anything real world
Stellarium
that's
is
not a game or a simulation?
It reflects reality.
Yeah, I'm not interested in your games. Do you have anything real world?
It reflects reality.
Well, let's see reality, not your computer games.
Let me see the Bible reflect reality.
The Bible is faith.
So it's not reality then, right?
Well, that's up to the person who reads it.
Yeah.
So it's faith.
So
yeah.
which verse and chapter talks about open heart surgery?
It's up to the person that reads it.
Which chapter and verse talks about open heart surgery?
It depends which Bible you read.
Well, to you.
It's all up to you. Faith.
Yeah.
And the spinning
When you
ball,
look-
is the spinning ball your
the bottom
faith?
line, the bottom line is you're just fucking lazy.
Is the spinning ball your
I told you
religion,
to-
your
I
faith?
told you to go to the library. Will you go to the library for me?
Read a book from the library, I will get the Bible out, yeah?
I said, look at the Star Atlas from 1950, Star Atlas from 2000, and then explain it.
How does that prove a spinning ball?
You can find that at any library on Earth will show the
Okay,
same
so
thing.
look.
Why do all these books are showing the same thing?
Those books are made up stuff, made up information.
Ah,
There's
How did, now, what is your evidence? What is your evidence it's made up?
because you can't. No one's ever backed it up. Ever.
Everybody's backed it up.
Ever.
You're the one that doesn't have the background to understand why it's like that.
No one's ever backed up a spinning ball. Let's take a look.
Do you have a background to understand that?
To see an object move.
To see why the stars change from one day to the next.
Couldn't care less about the stars. What about the moving Earth?
I care about it. You don't.
Yeah, you
That's
look at the
because
stars.
you don't have the background to appreciate it.
Yeah, who cares about the stars? We don't know what they are. We can't go
There
there.
are lots and lots and lots of people. You spend all your time on the internet.
Well, you dream
looking
about
at
the
YouTube.
stars. Let's get a real world observation of the Earth moving.
I just gave it to you.
You should look in a
'cause
book.
This book is lying.
Things don't move in a book.
The Bible.
No, but they do record evidence.
They're lying.
So is Bible lying too?
The Bible's faith.
No, your books are lying.
But come on then,
KIMO, you're
skipper.
lazy. KIMO, you're lazy.
No,
You're just
you're
plain
lying.
lazy.
You're presenting me books that have lies, false information.
KIMO, you would appreciate the reasoning for these books.
You got anything
if you
else?
had the education to understand it.
Do you have anything
You
else
don't
other than
have
books?
you don't have the education to comprehend it.
Okay, just read a book and it says, "Hey, the Earth is spinning." Woohoo! Don't be silly. Let's see a practical demonstration of the Earth
and
spinning.
then God brought together some sand and formed Adam and Eve.
Mhm.
Yeah, that made a lot of sense too.
That does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yes, that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. The stars moving makes sense too.
The Bible explains what the stars are.
Bible
Yeah.
didn't go into the detail. Oh, did the Bible explain what comets were?
I'm not sure. Said you read it.
Section of the Bible that describes procession.
I'm not sure.
We're See, you got a lot of holes in your observations, KIMO.
I'll have to check what Jesus said.
Yeah, Jesus is an authority on astronomy.
Well, he is God.
Jesus is not God.
That's my faith.
Son of God.
I believe Jesus is God.
Son of God.
Jesus is the Word.
Which word?
Word of God.
Reese.
God only has one word.
So anyway,
We just
is
walked in
the
with
spinning
biblical.
ball a religion?
So can we use your faith or whatever it is you described to predict something like, say, when the sun is going to rise tomorrow?
No, no man will know when the sun returns.
Oh, bullshit. Everybody knows that stuff.
No, no one will know the time of day.
Really? It's true.
When Jesus returns, no man will know.
I'm talking about sunrise, sunset.
Oh,
we
I thought you
can't,
meant
we
the
can't,
son- I thought you
we
meant the
can't
son,
predict that.
the Son of God.
No, you knew clearly it was S-U-N,
And when will the
son,
sun return?
referring to the actual big ball of light in the sky during the day.
So look,
So
I'm
I
not
don't
trying
know,
to
you-
obfuscate.
Can you use your faith somehow?
He's very good at
Have you tried to
obfuscating.
actually predict something like that? Or predict anything?
Oh, the Bible's got a lot of predictions, but that's all faith.
Is it going to tell me what time the sun's
You're
going to rise?
not going to
at my
believe it
location
because we
tomorrow?
can't repeat the stuff like Jesus walking on water, right?
I can walk on water
We
too.
can't
if it's
turn
one
water
inch.
into
I can
wine.
walk on water. I
But
can
we
walk
can't
on
turn
water.
water into wine.
KIMO, I can walk on water.
We can't.
See, I saw a
What
video
else
of a
can't
guy
we do?
in water. It just so happened he was running away
Feed
from a bull that was
5,000
chasing
with
him.
like a couple of fish and bread and stuff. So that's all faith. That's all faith based, right? That's in your heart, your mind, your soul, your consciousness. Now, the spinning ball is meant to
No,
be
it's not, because
a
there's
real
actually
thing, like a real spinning
reputable
ball.
events that have
It
been
is
done.
real.
So if it's a real spinning ball, show the Earth moving.
Go to the library.
Stop being silly now.
You're the ones being stupid because
Yeah,
You're
you
not
don't have
going
the
to see a
education to say
moving
otherwise.
ball on
KIMO,
moving
you don't have
Earth.
the education. At KIMO, you don't have the
You've been
education to say otherwise.
miseducated then.
KIMO, you don't have the education
I
to
don't
say
want this
otherwise.
miseducation. You've been miseducated.
How would you know I was miseducated?
Because they told you to look in a book.
when you never took the education in the first.
They were like, hey, you,
first
look at this
place.
book. You'll see a spinning Earth. You were like, ooh, I believe that. Yes, very good.
And
You've
when
been
you read the
bamboozled.
Bible and said Jesus wept, you knew he was talking about you.
Yeah, you can feel that. You can feel Jesus and the power of God and the Spirit. But that's another story. Right now, the spinning ball, is that a feeling in your heart?
How come you didn't take any science education when you were growing up?
It's all miseducation.
Oh, really? And when a doctor examines you, do you go to a
Doctor
witch
doesn't
doctor?
prove a spinning ball. Stop derailing and
I'm not. That's true.
obfuscating.
It's education. It's dealing with education, and you're saying education's got
No,
holes.
you've been miseducated when it comes to the Earth spinning and curving.
Well, doctors go to the same places that astronomers go for
No,
education.
I'm talking about you have been
I'm talking about doctors and
Oh,
astronomers.
well, yeah, they picked the right job because that's a real practical line of work. Okay, they haven't wasted their time, unlike the astrophysicists, the
How did
scientists,
you
the satellite scientists.
How did you come to the observation it was wasted, since you don't have the background to know if it was wasted or not?
I'm just explaining to you now. A doctor will be able to practically heal and fix and correct, whereas you and your nonsense, your education has brought you to this point where you can do nothing practical with it.
The geologist can find shit underground without even.
How about that, Skipper?
Look, you know that KIMO doesn't listen to
education that
doctors
you think
either.
We should go
Don't
back
let him
to
go down this rabbit
school
hole.
and relearn this nonsense so we have no practicality at the end of it.
But again, astronomers and doctors.
Look at you, for example.
Astronomers and doctors go to the same
But you
universities.
are the example. Look at you. You
You're
know all
the
this.
example
You
of
know all this
stupidity.
stuff
What
from
can
a
I-
book. Wait, let me talk now, will you?
Chemo, you're the example of lack of education.
Okay. But you have all this education, yet you're unable to show a spinning ball.
And you
Perfect example.
constantly use the word pseudoscience. So how can you use the word pseudoscience
Sound
when you
me
don't
this,
even know, since you have not been educated in
Sound me
science?
this education you have. What are the benefits of thinking the Earth is spinning but not being able to demonstrate it?
Reality.
I'm listening. Go on.
I just said reality.
So the
Says
benefits of your education, that you're not able to provide proof the Earth is moving.
I just explained it. Procession.
Yeah. So the benefit is just to be able to become a preacher.
No, you have no idea what the education is for being a scientist. So you have no idea what you're arguing about because you're not a scientist.
So your entire education consisted of, you don't know what you're talking about. They won't understand what you're talking about.
No, I wasn't looking at it in a demeaning fashion. I was just being educated.
Yeah, but what do you know? You've had all this education. What can you demonstrate after all of this?
What can you demonstrate with your education? You keep telling us goofy things
Not
about
about
Mount
me.
Everest. And
you're the one claiming to have
you.
this
You're
education.
the ones coming up.
So I'm
Chemo,
saying,
you're the ones coming up with Chemo, you are going against the grain of education. 99% of the people understand it correctly. You're the less than 1% that does not understand it. You don't understand it because you are not educated.
What has your education provided for
Why are you so uneducated?
Hey, you're saying you're educated. Bravo.
You said, and you're not admitting that you're not educated.
Well, it's not about me.
Why not? You're the ones talking.
But you're the one talking about education.
And you're talking about it too.
No, I'm talking about your education.
I'm talking about your education as well.
You're saying that I have no education.
I can't understand why you're arguing about stuff in science and you don't have the background to argue about anything.
That's why I'm asking somebody with an education.
We answered the same questions year before that. We have given you the same answers over and over, but you go back in the same direction every year.
So you spend all this time studying. At the end of your rainbow,
why you keep asking the questions, but you don't accept the answers.
Look where you are at the end of your rainbow, and you're not providing anything practical.
KIMO, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Why do you think the Bible talks about Jesus? How do you know that? You've just been miseducated when you learn to read. You can't read. That's just a hoax.
Okay.
You just think you can read. The Bible doesn't mention Jesus anywhere.
Okay. What's your point?
You've been miseducated. You just think you can read.
Maybe, but this is my faith. My faith is strong. You see?
So you have faith in something
wrong about this.
Chemo, I don't see any evidence of it.
Any evidence of the Bible?
I mean, any evidence that you believe in the word of the Bible? Because I don't hear you preaching about it or saying, you just say Bible, then you start talking about nonsense again.
Okay.
I don't hear it.
Okay, I heard you. It's not about me. What it's about is the glow.
Chemo, I hate that. You know what? We all hate it when you say that. It's not about me. It's stupid because you're the ones talking. You're the one that wants to come in and talk about all this stuff. So it's part of you when you bring this stuff up. Not about me. Quit saying that.
Yes, but when people ask me about me, I mean, again, we're talking about the lie of the globe, and for some strange reason, you guys, so-called scientists, people who are educated.
So again, you just
educated,
said
as you put it. You are educated.
Again, you just said
somehow these educated people cannot demonstrate their claims.
And uneducated people are
debating. You wasted your life away.
Uneducated people love to argue about things that they haven't been educated in to make a debate about it.
There is no argument here. All we're asking is the educated people to provide demonstrations of their claims.
You do,
That's all,
okay,
and,
then
Kimo,
show
refuse to
flat
accept
Earth
it.
then.
That's all.
Kimo, demonstrate to me that
Okay,
the
that's
Bible
3-4
mentions
people. I
Jesus.
haven't got 3-4
Hey,
ears. I would like to address as many as possible, but yeah.
You're popular, Kimo. You're
No,
popular.
it's not about me. As I said, all we're doing is raising awareness about the lie, which is the globe. Yes, and
no lie to it.
Yeah. So let's get back to this education and the educated. Obviously, the educated would have evidence, practical evidence, and not just a story. I mean, surely you didn't go to school and college, university to learn stories, right?
I love that answer you just gave, Kimo. So you're educated to show flat Earth. So give us the evidence for a flat Earth.
So you understand the Earth is not a globe now, then? Yes.
You went to school to hear stories.
Right, that's what I mean. They've been studying this whole time, and seems at the other side of the rainbow. Because, like I see, as a rainbow, you start at one side. Journey now where you are now is at the end of this rainbow. And what have you achieved? What are you showing? What do you have to show for it? Nothing but your idea of what you think is going on.
But what you're disagreeing with is because you don't have the education to say what you're saying.
Again, whether I have the education or not, you can still present practical evidence and proof of your claim.
Why? But because you don't have the education to accept what I'm saying, then what's the purpose?
Because if you're saying...
I brought up precession, star atlases, and you totally ignored it. But that is what all the other universities are preaching and teaching, is that it is the fact that star atlases do show that the sky is precessing.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, when one is from the school of critical thought, if you bring me an assumption or a presupposition, we're going to have to question that at every level, okay, to make sure that you know what you're talking about. And obviously, if you can deliver that, that's what we're looking for.
But for you to do that, you would have to go back to school and take courses in physics and astronomy and so forth to understand, to see if what I'm saying is correct or not.
Well, again, I have no doubt that you were able to parrot exactly what you were taught.
No, I said you to appreciate what I'm saying. For you to appreciate what I am saying, you would have to get educated in the sciences. You are not educated in the sciences, so there's no way for you to appreciate anything that I am saying.
Well, this is the very point. This is not a lecture or a preach. You're not giving me your religion. You're not telling me about your thoughts and what you've been studying. What you're looking for are fruits, results.
I gave an example.
You gotta go to school to hear the globe. They don't have actual evidence. Yes, that's true.
Kimo.
Admonish him. Super Plurp is interrupting. Kimo, get on him.
Not a one-on-one. He's entitled.
You're trying to have a conversation, Kimo.
He's entitled to jump in every now and again.
Enforce your rules equally and fairly, you bitch.
It's not a one-on-one.
Yeah, remember that next time, you lying cunt.
No, you started talking when I was talking.
That's a fucking lie, and it's on tape. We can hear it. It's recorded.
Maybe. What it seems.
You need an ass whipping, motherfucker.
Probably, and hopefully the Globers are able to do that with scientific evidence, with practical measurements. Yes. But again,
Kimo, how would you accept any of that evidence when you do not have the background to accept it?
Well, again, it's not
to
about
appreciate it, to understand it.
It's not about me. It's about what you think you can do.
What did I say about? It's not about me. You're the one bringing
really
it up.
Not.
So it is you.
No, Super Flev, step in anytime you like. Don't listen to Curve. He's just grumpy. But in terms of what you're saying, yes, we could listen to you all day, whether we understood you or not. It's not going to change the fact that the Earth doesn't move. You see,
in your mind,
physically.
In your mind.
No, physically, you cannot.
In your mind.
You cannot show the Earth physically. You cannot show the Earth physically moving.
I did. And there's another way, which is more difficult to do, is if you go to the North Pole, where you see the sun rising or the sun setting.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it rising or setting? How is it doing that at the North Pole?
The 24-hour sun?
No, I'm not talking about that in particular. I'm just talking for it to rise and set. Why does it rise or set at the North Pole?
Well, the sun doesn't actually set. Okay? It just looks like it's going down because things at the distance converge. See?
That's not what that's not what I'm talking about.
Well, go on.
All right. Normally, say like you're in England, you can see the sun rising, you can see the sun setting. Very easy. And what is the reason, based on what you say, globe reason for it is what? Because the Earth is rotating, right?
No, the Earth is not moving.
Anyway, but why is it rising and setting at the North Pole? There's a different reason.
It circles the North Pole.
No, I'm not talking about that.
What are you on about then?
This rise at the North Pole, and this is the only spot besides the South Pole that it rises and sets.
Show me what you're talking about.
The rising and setting of the sun at the North and South Pole is because the Earth is revolving around the sun. It's not because of the rotation of the Earth.
Well, I don't see what this has to do with Earth moving.
Well, the Earth is moving for it to rise and set at the North and South Pole.
No, the sun doesn't actually set and rise. That's an illusion.
Well, if it's setting at my time at 8 o'clock tonight, where's the sun elsewhere at that particular time? If it's setting for me here in the eastern states at 8 o'clock at night, what time does it set in Los Angeles?
Well, look, I'm sure that the people who map these things knows where the sun will be at every given point.
Well, the sun's not up at my location after 8 o'clock, but the sun's still up in Los Angeles.
All right, look, I don't know where this is going. We're going all over the place. Again, this is what we try to avoid. See, we try to avoid these.
But again, you don't have the education to disagree with me.
Well, yes. I mean, again, we avoid these long philosophical discussions. Okay,
it's not philosophical. It's not
as scientists, we're looking for the practical element of the claim. Now, of course,
the degree of practicality depends on the education level.
Now, of course, you could spend all day long explaining, reading, explaining, but that's not going to change the fact that.
And if I talk about this to an uneducated person, I'm wasting my time, right?
Well, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Let's not waste. You've wasted.
You're uneducated. I know that, KIMO. I know you're not educated.
Look, I remind you guys that.
I don't know why anybody would want to sit here and debate with you when you don't have the background to discern exactly what is being told to you.
Well, one of the reasons is because people have wasted a lot of years studying something that doesn't exist. You see, so a lot of frustration will come with that, right? So
to make that observation, you would have to have the background to understand that, and you don't have the background.
So usually, what you'll find is the flat earthers are what you would call like a punching bag. We take the.
It's a joke for sure.
Yeah, you take it out on us basically. The fact that you've been lied to, see? And that's why we get the abuse we do.
We take it out because you're trying to make other kids become less educated by bringing up this stupid crap.
Oh, well, that's going to give in. I mean, the next generation will be flat earthers without any doubt, any shadow of a doubt. I mean, this is. I think
tremendous doubt.
I think 61% of young people. I think
you guys had peak activity a couple of years ago with Mark Sargent and Pat Steers, whatever the hell her name was. The media looked at it, laughed, and then walked away.
I mean, nonetheless, the stats are outrageous if you're a global.
There's no nevertheless to it. The media walked away after they heard the garbage and said, "This is crap. Let's go on to something else."
Well, I'm just letting you know that the next generation are fully aware of the arguments and what's going on. And
based on what statistical evidence was that based on?
There's been stats, that have been taken.
Oh, well, I'd like to see them. You got some that you can post?
No. There was a 1 in 10 Americans doubt the globe. We've got 11 million there in South America. I forget the numbers here in the UK, but there is a astounding amount of people denying the globe and
please don't lie.
looking
It's
into
getting
flat Earth.
boring. Your lies are getting boring.
KIMO, there's no, you're not showing any statistical evidence for that.
I've posted it many times. I really can't be to go through to.
Yeah, I know you're tired and lazy.
I'm not tired. No, I'm just thinking. You know, I mean, we're just going through. We're just talking. Again, if you want to look at the stats, feel free to. You know,
and you
investigate
can
that for
feel
yourself.
free to go to the library and look at the star atlases.
Yes, but that doesn't prove the Earth itself moving.
Do you have a car? Do you have a car?
The Earth.
Do you have the car?
What does motion have to do with shape?
Come on.
Well, KIMO means James or Jim. I think I looked that up the other day.
But come on,
It
look.
said,
Relax, calm down.
Why
This
are
is
you bickering about motion?
Skipper, this is where I can understand the frustration.
What does emotion have to do with this?
And this is what I do offer chemotherapy, so I can help you get your head around this, get you through this, and you know you.
What does motion have to do with the shape, whether it's moving or not? So what? What if the sky is moving and the Earth is still? It's still a globe.
Good. The Earth is still. Tell Skipper that.
So why do you keep leading these artists down this fucking rabbit hole, this diversionary trail?
Earth is still, Skipper. You hear that? It doesn't move.
So no, I didn't say that.
Move.
Again, you
No,
lying cunt.
it doesn't move. You just heard that.
I said it doesn't matter to the shape.
It doesn't move though, right?
"Oh,
It
moves."
doesn't
There you
matter.
go, Skipper. You see,
the
now
shape.
even the ballers are recognizing it
Is the
doesn't move.
flat earther so
Kurt
afraid
isn't saying
to
that.
discuss the shape of his fucking flat earth?
Anyway, Superflow, if you want to get involved, you know, again, it's not just me hogging the mic. Feel free to step in, or Jerry, and take on these zealots because.
Oh, is KIMO still here?
Zealots?
I went and set up my whole fucking new generator, dude, and you still here spouting the same shit?
Have you done that experiment yet or not?
Is there any
Yeah, I
chance
already
it'll
did.
explode when you crank it up?
Yeah, direct light.
No, I already ran it.
Way to go,
I already
spitting
ran
dog.
it, dude. No, there's no
try
direct
again.
light.
Good
There's no
experiment,
direct light.
spitting dog. Good stuff.
Yeah, no direct light.
Way to
Rainbow in the reflected light from the spotlight. Now denounce God. All right.
Way to go. Good experiment. All 4 seconds of it. Superb.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
Got
enough
it.
for you to denounce God.
Absolutely. Now do it correctly, and let's see some real science on the table.
I already did it correctly, dude.
Yeah, do it without the direct light there.
KIMO, again, you don't have the
Who's
background
muted there,
to
spitting dog?
say otherwise.
Why have you muted him?
Squatting dog. Let us know when you've thrown your fucking vape away, you cunt.
Did you mute spitting dog?
How many times have you been fucking told about that shit? You deliberate dickhead.
What did he do? What's he done?
Fuck you, KIMO. It's none of your business. Stay out of it.
What's going on? Why is he? I was just talking to him.
Shut up, asshole.
What is he doing? What's going on?
Don't answer to you, bitch.
Right. Button dog.
What's
You
up?
get the message, Squatty?
Yeah, I'll put it away.
Okay. So, yeah, get you a...
I'm doing my mutes, KIMO.
Yeah, mod abuse. What did he do?
Fuck you.
Right.
I owe you nothing.
He didn't do anything.
I vaped into the mic again. It's a force of habit.
Well, I didn't hear it.
KIMO's
Maybe.
even wrong when he's modding. Wow.
Okay, so let's get back into the conversation. Yeah, when you provide the evidence in the correct way there, spitting dog.
According to you, it's the correct way. According to everybody else, they can clearly see that there's a rainbow in the reflected light from the mirror coming off of the spotlight.
Yeah, you've got to have the direct light not in the same vicinity as the rainbow.
No, there's no direct light.
Yeah, it's in the same vicinity.
There's no direct light.
Yes, you got your torch.
Okay, yes, the torch is what puts out direct light that reflects off the mirror, making
So
indirect light.
and plus you've got the torch at an angle.
Yes, it's
So of
still all
course-
shining off of the. It's still all shining off of the mirror,
Not if the torch is at an angle.
especially if the torch is at an angle.
If it's at an angle, then it will see you'll have a beam.
Yeah, a beam that goes into the mirror.
No, if it's angled and we see the light, that will have a beam.
So I'm supposed to shine it straight at the mirror.
No, you're supposed to either do it from far away, so you just have the beam of light hitting the mirror, and then
If
the
I do it from
rainbow.
far away, if I do
Yeah.
it from far away into the mirror, right?
Yeah.
Then there's going to be light everywhere from the torch.
That's not my problem. You can't have the direct
No,
light.
no, you can't. You can't keep changing up the stipulations on it, right? All the light is shining from the torch off the mirror.
Well, it's
that
not-
reflected light off the mirror is
not
what is obviously
reflected
creating
light.
that. It is obviously what is creating that rainbow.
Yeah, it's not
Right?
reflected
So you can
light.
stop.
You've got
So you
the
can
reflected-
stop. You know. So no, it is absolutely the reflected light. Anybody that looks at the video can tell you that it's the reflected light. So I'm not going to go down this this argument with you. You lost. Now denounce God.
Got the direct light right next to the rainbow.
There's no direct light. There's no direct light.
Got the direct light right next to the rainbow.
There's no direct light next to the rainbow.
Is the rainbow next to your torch?
No.
Where is it then?
It is a good 10 feet away.
10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, where's the measurements? Would you measure that?
I know the proportions of my backyard.
See, it's just nonsense, right? This is a backyard makeshift tin pan experiment.
No, it's a perfectly good experiment. I'm sorry you just don't like the results.
Yeah, you're gonna have to kind of redo it. You got till Friday
not
anyway.
redoing it.
You've got
Not
till
redoing
Friday.
it. I already redid it. I mean, I already did it once. You don't like the results? That's up to you.
Yeah, you've got the direct light in the same vicinity.
You're gonna have direct light shining onto the mirror.
And you got it at an angle, so it's gonna be shining everywhere.
No, because it's a spotlight. It's not a fucking light bulb.
Well, show the torch. Where's the torch?
I can go get it.
Yeah. Let's have a look.
Most flashlights have a parabolic lens on them that aim the light out of one end of the flashlight. It doesn't go out to the sides.
While he's doing that, Skipper, you still in the dust somewhere. Oh, he's bit the dust, Skipper. Another one's bit the dust.
So, KIMO, aren't most flashlights that you've seen just a light bulb instead of a parabolic lens that, or mirror that focuses a little light in one direction?
No, as long as he's got that direct light there will be a rainbow.
Right. And most flashlights don't shine light to the side. They only shoot out forward.
He's got it at an angle. Duh. So he's turned the front of it to be visible.
Yeah, so you also have the torch looking the exact opposite way from where the rainbow is.
And that's why he's hiding the torch with his body.
Wait,
so you can't see that
there
big
is
glare.
no light. If he's
If he moved his body, that would just light up the whole area there. We would see the entire torch lit up. What you need to do is show the camera at that angle how much light comes at the camera.
Essentially none.
Well, let's take a look.
So I have the torch right here.
Yeah, and then tilt it at
You have
the camera.
you have the torch probably like just a few inches away from the mirror. Right, so you don't hardly get
Can't
any
have it
pony
near
out.
the mirror because that's the direct light. You've got to have the direct light away from the reflected light. See?
How do you get direct? Okay.
What?
What you're saying is impossible. Scientific impossibility.
The moon is lit. Yeah, the moon is lit up. Yeah, so as soon as you turn that to the side, I mean, look how it's cupped. You see?
What?
Your light there is cupped and bulged. Got a bulge in the middle, I think, yeah? As soon as you turn that, it's going to give you the direct light, so it's no good.
No, so again, the torch is not facing the mirror. It's in fact facing away from the, or not facing the, it's not facing the rainbow. I'm sorry. It's not facing the rainbow.
It
It's
is
facing
facing
away
the
from
rainbow.
the.
You've got it tilted.
No, it's not. No, you're not. Look.
You've got it turned. How can it not be?
Holy shit. You see how like the angle difference on it, right, is mostly upward, barely even tilted to the side.
Just what you need to do is have it clamped. The torch clamped at the mirror.
The shroud of that flashlight is completely shadowing it from that area where the rainbow is.
No. It was totally exposed.
Yeah.
No, because again, he's got it
Yeah,
at an angle.
yeah.
No, you're thinking it's straight on. He's got it at an angle, Moyak. He's turned the torch.
You're right. It has a slight angle on it,
So
right? That way
you're
we can
thinking
actually bounce
straight
light.
on, Moyak. You've got to rule that out. He's turned it. That means it has line of sight.
There's no line of sight.
Yes,
shroud
a ray,
out
a
of that
beam.
lens is still shadowing the rainbow from the torch.
You get it. You're just making up stories now. He's turned the torch. End of. Turn the torch. You see the light. That's it. There's your rainbow. Of course, you're gonna get the rainbow.
No, so again, if the light were to have moved in between,
What
it
you
shining,
need to do is shine the torch directly at the mirror.
if it's shining directly at the mirror,
Yeah.
it's not going to be usable.
Perfect.
Because
That's
all
what
that
I'm
light's going
talking
to be
about.
reflected.
Exactly.
Right? All that light is going to be reflected back into the torch.
No, you should
Yeah.
have the light.
Yes.
No, you should have reflected light in the mirror.
Yes.
No. Put it straight at the torch, at the mirror, and then whatever light is in the mirror should make your rainbow. So no
The light
turning,
that's coming
no
off
turning.
the light that's coming off the mirror is what's creating the rainbow.
Well, then you should be able to direct it straight at the mirror.
No, you have to at least create some
No,
sort of
you
an angle.
don't.
So you
Any
have,
turning
yes, you
is gonna give you a beam of light.
No, any turning is what's going to allow you to actually reflect light into the air rather than back into the mirror.
No, if you just fire
Yes.
it at the
Look,
mirror.
KIMO, you're wrong. I did your experiment. I'm sorry you don't like the results, but like regardless of what results you like or not, it's still the light that's coming from the mirror or
Yeah,
bouncing off
your
the mirror.
direct angled light.
No. So what? How much of an angle do you think this torch actually has?
Any deviation is going to give you a beam. That
Any
little
deviation
beam,
is going to give me a beam.
is enough to give you a rainbow,
No.
as you can see in your video.
No, so again, all that light that you're seeing in that video is bouncing off the mirror.
Well, if it
The
is, then like I
flashlight has
said, if it is,
the flashlight has less than 180 degree field
if
of
that's
view.
true, put the torch way back, and then let it hit the mirror at any angle, and have the rainbow in
Oh
front
no,
of.
because that would
What
you wanted it. You want.
fuck
Oh shit!
was
sorry,
that?
my bad.
Have the
That
rainbow
was me doing
in.
it again. So again, right? You want it to be as close to the mirror as possible because any scattering out is going to create light
No,
that's going to
listen,
interfere.
listen.
No. You want all the light. You want the light,
No,
the torch, as close to
up.
the mirror as possible. No, you're gonna listen up. You want the torch as
Go on,
close
then.
to the mirror as possible, so that less light scatters away from the torch.
No.
That is why the torch is right next to the mirror.
No,
so you
that's
get
not what we
the
want.
minimum. That's why you get the minimum amount of deviation as possible, or divergence. as
when
possible.
you get a
Yes.
mirror and
No,
you get
no.
when you catch the sun, like the reflected light, okay, the
Mhm.
sun is not near the mirror, so you've got to have the torch way back, catch the light of the mirror. Yes.
So now you're changing up the requirements.
No.
So fuck off. Yes,
no,
you are.
because you've got
So-
direct
so
light.
fuck
I'm
off.
trying to help you
No,
out here.
No. You're trying to change up the
I'm
requirements.
not changing
so
it.
go
I'm trying to
fuck
help you
yourself.
out. I'm saying
No.
how.
You're trying. You are trying to change up the requirements.
No,
so
I'm
I
trying to
kindly
get
ask
you
that
to
you go fuck
remove the
yourself.
direct light.
It is removed, right? All that
No,
light
it's not.
is
You've got
bouncing
it
off
at
the
an
mirror.
angle. Simple as
Yes,
that.
it is at an angle, right? Do I need to draw this out in MS
Because
Paint
when
for
we
you?
do the flat Earth experiments with a mirror across the water, okay, that reflected light will not make a rainbow.
Okay, so when I put this torch right up to the fucking mirror, and that
Oh my
reflected light
gosh.
creates a rainbow, I guess you guys just don't know what the fuck you guys are doing.
How can you? Yeah, you got to put it directly straight on, head on, flush.
No, you want to at least have it at some sort of angle. That way, not all the light gets reflected back into the fucking torch.
No, you don't want any of the direct light to be exposed to the atmosphere as much as possible. You want it to go straight into the
It's
mirror.
all shining on the mirror.
I gotta agree with Timo. Yeah, if you shine it all back into the light, your rainbow will go away. So yeah, if you head it straight on, you won't get a rainbow because you'll be all going back into your flash.
And so you should be able to use that reflected light to make the rainbow that's coming back out without the direct light.
No, so there's no direct light hitting those.
No, I'm done with this. We're done. I'm not even arguing this. You haven't done it correctly.
I know.
Wasting
You're
time now.
I am doing it correctly. You don't understand it, so
it's
you
fine,
can kindly go
fine. I don't understand. Right? You've got your angled direct light. What more can we argue with?
Yeah, I angled direct light into the mirror, thus making it indirect light because it's coming off of the mirror.
Yeah.
And it's creating a rainbow.
Sure it did.
Mm-hmm. I have video evidence of it. I'm sorry you disagree with video evidence.
If that were true, you could just walk around that rainbow and still see it without having to move the light.
You're right. If I had a third person, we probably could have done that.
No, you could have just set the thing up and walked around the rainbow.
Set the thing up and walked around the rainbow.
Hold the camera, clamped up the camera somewhere in that same position, and then see. You would have seen if you'd have walked into the line of sight. If you'd have walked around that rainbow, you'd have seen a direct line of sight to your torch. That means
there is no direct line of sight.
That's why I said if you walked around the rainbow, you would have seen. Try to listen.
There's no direct line of sight.
Try to listen then. If you'd have clamped the torch in the angle you had it where you were holding it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you look back at the rainbow, and then you walked around the back of that rainbow, you would see your torch's direct. You would see the torch's direct light.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
That sounds like a test for you, Kimo.
Yeah. So here, I'll draw out what this is like. All right. So we have this mirror. Here's the torch. I'll draw it in black. All right. So we have the torch.
You could have walked around the rainbow.
I don't have to because that wasn't part of our stipulation.
If you walk around the rainbow, you're gonna see the torch. The torch's direct light.
No,
Actually,
you wouldn't see the torch.
And if you see the torch's direct light, then you know that that's what's creating the rainbow.
No, you wouldn't see the torch's direct light.
You need to be able to walk around that rainbow without seeing the torch's direct light.
KIMO, I proved you wrong, and now you're
listen
trying
to what's being said. The torch.
I am, and you're just wrong.
When you walk around the rainbow, you should never have line of sight to the direct torch's light, ever.
You don't have direct sight.
But you've got an angle, so how you wouldn't?
I'm about to show you why.
Okay, let's have a look.
And you actually walk around the rainbow. I think the angle of the angles will change so much you won't be able to get to be a rainbow anymore.
Yeah, so we get the rainbow right here. What we have red, we have orange.
Good try though. Good try.
No, it's a perfect try because I got it right on. We have yellow. You have, what was it, green. A little bit of green in there, and you can make out just the fairest amount of blue. All right. So we take this. Where's my snipping tool? So this rainbow, how does it have direct line of sight of the lit part of the torch? Because this is the setup that it was.
Dude, just accept you've lost my friend. Okay.
Yeah, this is how essentially the setup was. All right.
Yeah, I know it's a severe case of Peyronie's disease right there.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a 10-second craft on MS Paint, dude. I'm sorry, I'm not Mozart. Not Mozart. Was it Leonardo da Vinci?
Yeah, I shouldn't have to rack.
Dude, you're barely conscious. What are you saying?
Shouldn't have to rack my brain for something so simple, right? Just walk around the rainbow, showing that there was no exposed direct light.
Well, we can also take the beam divergence that's on this thing that I have right here, and you could tell that there would be no way that the light could have shined backwards from this torch. Unless it's bouncing off of
Can you show us the pattern of that light on the surface? Like if you just set the light on the ground.
Set the light on the ground?
Yeah, if you just sit if you sit the light on the ground, you'll see the pattern of the lens and the pattern of the beam coming out of the light. It's probably like 100, maybe 100 degrees wide.
Probably not. I'm looking at it right now, and either way, it's still not going to give you an angle that goes behind it.
Oh, I know. I'm saying it's gonna go. It's probably like 100 degrees or so. It's all focused forward.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So we can see from the video. Right. Where is it at? I'll repost it again. Oh, where'd it go?
In order to get a direct line where that rainbow was, you'd have to be missing the mirror.
Yeah. So you can clearly see by the mirror if you have any kind of sense of like geometry and object permanence, which I think that you get like at the age of 3, right? That this rainbow is behind the torch. But I guess some flat earthers just haven't progressed past the age of 3.
Yeah, why
which
is it behind?
explains a lot.
Because you turned the torch.
Oh, why is the rainbow behind the torch?
Turn the torch.
No, the torch isn't turned.
Yeah, you've tilted it, you said, at an angle.
No, the torch is essentially stationary, or as stationary as hands can have you hold it, right?
No,
All right, so we're not trying to pull a fast one where we're shining it directly into the mist and then back it to the mirror, right? Because you could tell because then the angle of the light would change as he's shifting the light, but it stays mostly the same.
Do it again. Do it correctly.
No, I already did it.
Make sure the room is pitch black before you do it.
I'm not spraying it inside my house.
Again, if it's outside, you've got all kinds of lights. Prove that it's a reflected light and not the direct
From that
light.
angle.
Bogus.
No, this is just destroying your belief.
Why don't you do it in a box?
Talk about the rainbow thing?
Yeah.
Rainbows will be forming outside because we have a curved glass dome helping to form the rainbow. Inside, you need a mirror or something to polarize and separate the light bands.
So I can't just create a light with my torch?
Outside, you probably could with, the curved glass dome outside. Inside, you'd need some sort of polarizing surface. That's the point.
Oh, so his flashlight is shining all the way up to the dome, 3,000 miles away, and then coming back down and making the rainbow. I see. Good idea.
No, I'm definitely not creating a rainbow with my mist that I had from my fucking water hose.
I don't know how you're even going to do it, actually. Because, again, you've always got the direct light in the vicinity, in and around the rainbow.
The polarizing surfaces would be the flashlight itself or, the dome itself outside. So the question is, what is the polarizing surface that's separating this light into banded colors or whatever?
Do you know anything about light? Like in the slightest, Lemon Bird?
Alright, here we go again. What about the flat earthers? They're just here asking questions about your heliocentric light. And if you can demonstrate.
Acting a fool.
Yeah, so I did your experiment, and like I predicted, you just tossed it out the window because reason.
Moyak agrees with me, funnily enough, which is strange, but he says it's not correct. I only knew this anyway. You've got it at an angle, it's not done correctly.
That's a lie.
Completely dark area.
Once again, lie.
It needs to be in a pitch black room. I mean, this is 4 seconds of nonsense.
Oh no, it's 4 seconds of me showing light coming off of a reflected mirror, or a mirror reflecting torch light.
With directed light right next to it. Way to go.
Yeah, direct light. Yeah, so how do you think you get indirect light without direct light?
Gotta remove the direct light and just show reflected light.
How am I supposed to only show reflected? How am I only supposed to get reflected light?
That's
you have to have
model.
a direct source from somewhere.
That's your model. My problem.
No. Our model is that direct light from the sun bounces off the moon, and then that
light is
oh my god,
energy, right? Are we on this? Is light energy? All
So
light is energy. Correct?
Light
is all light
considered energy. Yes.
All light is from energy.
Now there's 3 of them.
Is all light from energy? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, light contains energy. Yes.
So everything has a certain amount of power behind it. Every light has a certain
Yes.
amount of actual power behind it.
Yeah.
Right? So the reflection is dependent. How big the reflection would be dependent on how powerful the light is.
Yeah.
Or how reflective the material is.
But how about that? How about when you reflect light?
How about
like
when
through
I
a mirror?
Hey, David, keep walking
Can you
away
send
from
a
your
light
router, please.
farther through a reflection? Can you send a reflection farther than you can send a light? No. Maybe.
Cool. So what about it?
Chief, hey,
What's up?
Chief, I'd still like to hear
Can
the
you send a light?
explanation. I'd still
Can
like
you
to
send
hear
a
the explanation
reflection?
how you get reflected light without having a light source close to it of direct light.
Yeah.
You need to have a light source of direct light.
Yes. So
Can that
so
reflected
Kimo,
light? Can that
holy shit, David.
Can that reflected light? Can the reflected light go farther than the original light with the original power source?
Well, if you're saying that energy is absorbed at each step, the reflection would tend to go less, not as far as the original light source. If you think that energy is being absorbed, if the light energy is being absorbed from the object giving the reflection, then it would give off light at less energy that would go not as far. One would expect anyway. One would expect the reflection not to go as far as the energy is absorbed.
A mirror would magnify it, right? It would magnify the light.
If it is shaped a certain way, it would have to concentrate the light into a shape or concentrate the light into one area. But if it's just a surface just giving off the light, and reflecting it, if it absorbs any of the light energy, you'd expect the light not to go as far.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Chief Squatting Dog, see how easy that was? Why are you so dumb, man? You try to act like you're smart. What? Tell us something
Because
smart.
half the things that come out of your mouth are either incomprehensible or your internet is shit.
Kimo, last night he told me if there was a mountain on Earth 1,000 miles high, that after you went up 25,000 miles or 25,000 feet where it's cold, that if you kept climbing it, they would turn it into a desert up there.
I didn't say that. I said that you would still freeze to death.
Oh, you freeze to death. So how does it warm up if you're freezing to death?
The individual atoms, the individual the energy in the individual particles is really hot, but it doesn't have this.
And then you told me that it's a gas particle, right?
No, I said it's an ionized gas, aka a plasma.
No, but all gases turn into you got gases turn into solids.
Can.
A gas will turn into a solid or a liquid, one of the two, and not all three. The only thing that does all three is water.
There's lots of things that have a triple point.
No, there's not. There's only one.
So
Don't
ammonia,
lie about that.
methane has.
No, we don't want to hear you lie. We don't want to hear your made up shit. If every other gas on this planet that you can show me, not one of them will turn into a solid, liquid, and a gas. None of them.
See, what
Oh, really?
What Dave is saying here is nature. He's leaving that important part out.
No, we're talking about reality, the situation of where you live at, and you think that your gas particles, are turning into some magical thing that heats up in outer space, and if you could bunch them up, you'd have friction on something, right?
Hold on. Hey, do you know about methane crystals? Solid methane ice.
Yeah. Okay. So methane turns into a solid, not a liquid.
Oh no! In the right temperature and pressure.
It goes straight. No, it goes straight from gas to solid.
Yes,
okay.
right.
What's your point?
At that standard pressure, it goes from a liquid or a solid to a gas, right? We know what
there would be no gas. There would be no gas in space if you are only counting the gases from our planet. There may be some other gas from some other planet that you don't know about, maybe up there. And Lemon will probably say, "Oh, yeah, it's the ether." But
the planets or a star are just lights. That's all. They're not terra firma you can land on. The only terra firma stuff that makes it look like a solid object you can land on is probably the topography of the dome. You're seeing the sun, moon, and stars through the dome, and the solid dome architecture is lending to it some sort of solid aspect, but otherwise it's just a blobbing, undulating blob of sonoluminescent light.
don't change the subject. Yeah, so they got a power behind them. There's a certain amount of force being given to that star, just like our star has a certain amount of light that it puts off. At the top degree on this planet that it'll produce is what? In the atmosphere, 140 degrees?
I don't know. But I think the sun, moon, and stars are basically sonoluminescent light. Well, the stars anyway. The sun and moon are something else based off of, being named, differently, the sun, moon, than the stars in the Bible anyway. So I'd say the only thing that's solid at best would probably be the sun and the moon, some sort of, solid bodies up there. The stars would probably be sonoluminescent light. But who knows?
Yeah, so again, we have various different materials that exist in both a solid, a liquid, and a gas form. That's how we can set up a triple. That's how.
What's up? Look at this.
That's not true. There's only one. Water is the only solid.
Me and Terman have come up with this. Yeah. Now look at this. This is now even the ballers recognize your problem.
There's no issue with my thing.
Yeah. Look at this diagram that the ball earthers and I have put together.
I'm not saying there was a problem with it.
No, look how he's covered. Look how he's covered. Look how he's drawn that red line. You need to show that red line is blocking the rays. Spitting dog.
No, I don't.
Well, me and Kevin have decided we've drawn this for you to help you out. Okay, and if you still well, that's up to you.
I already did the experiment.
Two ball earthers, experts here.
It seems like it's up to you now. You're the one who's denying somebody's experiment.
No. I've had you, Moya, and Terman now agree with me that he needs to
When you deny someone's experiment, it becomes your onus to actually
fine, whatever. Carry on. But sit and ball, you can see here that we've worked together to show you how you should have done it.
No, I already did it right.
No, you didn't do it like this.
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. Because again, the angle of it, like the angle of which the torch is at, cannot possibly reach where the rainbow was directly.
Show us like this with Terman and I made a diagram for you.
Yeah, so the issue with that diagram is that it puts the torch further away from the mirror than what the rainbow was.
Well, again,
but in the video, you can clearly see that the torch is right up next to the fucking mirror.
Yeah, giving you what we're showing you here, the problem.
No, you're not showing the problem because, again, like I said, the issue with your image there is that the torch is further away from the mirror than the rainbow is, and that's why
you've got two ball earthers who we've gone to the extent of drawing you.
Stop right there! Stop! Do not say I agree with you ever. Is that understood? Do you understand that? Yes or no? Do you understand that?
But
then shut your face.
I understand. Now look, spitting dog here. Look, they've drawn you. Moya called it straight away. You're wrong. Herman had a little think about it. Drawn you how it should be. You're wrong. Now I know because I'm a flat earther, you're thinking you just want to disagree with me, but your own team is telling you need to revise your experiment.
Excuse me. What did I just say?
And they've been in this for a long, long time, spitting dog.
Stop your fucking lying, Spurs. Stop it.
I like your diagram, Termin. That was good stuff.
Shut the fuck up.
But anyway, you can see how angry they get in sitting dog.
Can I mute Spurs? I want the power on someday to mute Spurs in the future. He deserves it.
See, they're all angry because he made a mistake. This is your fault.
Because you're a fucking liar.
For making them.
You're a disgusting little shitball.
You're making them do diagrams that you should have done in the first place.
Okay,
right? As
so again,
even Curve says you're embarrassing the globe.
Okay, cool. So, KIMO, can you possibly recreate your image to have the torch right next to the mirror and the rainbow right behind or behind the torch, yet still somehow
I'll have
getting
to speak
direct
to
light from the
Termin
torch?
about that. I don't know if we can do that.
What?
I've got to speak to
Because
Termin.
If you bother to look, it's a spotlight, and the light is pretty much collimated, so that wouldn't
Couldn't
be a
it
problem.
be? Couldn't it be bouncing off of the floor? The light source appears to be on the floor in the video that I saw from Chief
Will be a
squatting.
reflection.
Yeah, even if it was bouncing off the floor, that in itself makes it indirect light.
So could the floor be polarizing that rainbow?
No.
Oh my god! Yes, that's what cement does.
That's what cement.
Being
Again,
ironic.
spitting dog. These are the guys who are correct. They want you to do the right thing. They want you to prove me wrong. That's why they don't want you to cut
I already
corners.
did.
No, they don't want
I
you to cut. Well, it's up to you. The experts are telling you that you're cutting corners. You need to do things in the right way, but you're doubling down. That's up to you.
I did things the right way. I have the spotlight right up against the mirror to prevent as much fucking beam divergence as possible from scattering out. If you don't like that, then that's tough shit, and you can go eat nails.
But like I say, your colleagues are trying to correct you without embarrassing you, but you're not listening. So it's up to you.
So,
Chief Squatting Dog, how about the glass of the light itself? Could the glass be doing the polarizing?
Glass is shielded also. It's behind the shroud of the flashlight.
I can't quite tell that from the video. Let me look at it again.
Yeah, so in itself, this thing has this handy-dandy little mirror in it that allows it to focus a light in one direction. That's why spotlights are so powerful, right? So it's pretty much a mirror that is reflecting light onto another mirror, which is reflecting light into a mist, which gives us that beautiful rainbow.
Can I ask Lemon Bird a question unrelated to the rainbow?
What is it?
Okay. Is the sun... Well, first off, is heaven outside the dome?
Is heaven outside of the dome? It appears to be above the dome, yes.
Okay. And you believe the Book of Enoch to be true, correct? Or at least portions of it.
I would trust it, yeah. I trust the Book of Enoch, yeah.
Okay. So guess what? In chapter 75, verse 4, or verse 3, I mean, it says that the sun is placed in the heaven. So is it outside the dome or inside the dome?
Heaven has many layers. There's the layer that the birds fly through. There's the solid glass dome layer with the sun, moon, and stars within it. And above that, we have heaven where people die and go to heaven, hopefully, if they're covered in the blood of Jesus Christ, or if God deems them worthy of entry. So it appears that heaven is anything that's basically not the earth.
I'm sorry, but it says that God placed the sun in the heaven, not where the birds fly, but in the heaven.
Which layer of heaven? The bird layer, the solid layer, or the floating place where we die, hopefully, if we're covered by the blood of Jesus Christ, or God deems us worthy of entry layer?
I think it's obviously in the strawberry layer.
So, hold on. Let me get this straight. Lemon Bird, you think that a mirror polarizes light?
Separates it into bands, according to, what's his name? Newton. But if you go with the theory of Johann von Goethe, he said that we got colors where there was a meeting of light and darkness. He didn't say that the prism really did anything to separate out the bands of colors per se. It was just where light met darkness, where light met shadow, you got different colors coming out. Perhaps it's both, neither, who knows. I'd probably go with Johann von Goethe.
Newton did two separate experiments. One with the prism, and it created a rainbow. And two, he stuck light or another prism in front of that, and it created white light. So the rainbow came back into being one lack of color, which is white.
Well, according to the video that I saw with Johann von Goethe, he tried to do the prism thing and he didn't get colors. He only got colors if there was a shadow or some level of darkness meeting the light. So I guess I'd have to look into it, but basically I would go with the rainbow. happening when the bands of color are separated by glass, a reflective surface, a mirror, something to
Or
separate the
mist.
light into bands.
Yeah, so we know that the reason we get was it rainbows is because sunlight or a light source passes through a mist. The mist is what separates out the colors.
The mist can't be causal. There's thousands of droplets in that mist, and each one would be their own little refractive prism. That's unsatisfactory. The mist, at best, would be the screen for the phenomenon that's already happening somewhere else.
No, you're just inherently wrong. But that's fine.
There's expression in science. He's not even wrong.
So I'm going to go with another theory. I think that these materialist atheists cobbled up yet another theory to deny the obvious polarizing dome that is outside and a testament to God's glory and majesty.
So again, if the sun is outside of the dome and all the sunlight passes through the dome, right? Then all light from the sun should be polarized, right?
Depends on the angle. Has to be at the right angle. Otherwise, no good.
If it passes through the dome, which is the polarizer, then all sunlight should be polarized. So
I don't
we
know
don't
if that necessarily follows.
It does. You're saying it's a polarizing lens. So any light that passes through that dome should become polarized. But that's just not what we see here.
Some of the light that passes through would be polarized.
No,
not
all of it. All of it.
Some of it would be.
All of it.
And by your same questionable logic, anytime that you have mist, you'd have a rainbow anywhere, and that's not always the case. Sometimes there's mist and it's just mist. Sometimes there's mist and there's a rainbow. So even that logic defeats itself.
Mm-hmm. So again, we have the mist. Well, I mean, I could shine a direct light into the mist and it gets polarized. What's polarizing it?
Like I said before, the glass of your flashlight, the dome above, some sort of separating surface of some sort.
So
to separate the light and the bands.
Do you know what is unpolarized light versus polarized light?
Polarized light goes in one direction or has the light separated out into different colors. Unpolarized light would be like a mixed mash of different colors to give you general white light of a mixture or something like that.
But can't be polarized by passing through a polarization filter, right? We know that water is a polarizing filter. So light can polarize it. I mean, water can polarize it, can separate it out by all of its color spectrums.
The color spectrum, I don't usually think of polar. I usually think of that as the angle of the initial signal. So, I mean, you can have the same color in any polarization.
Well, for the water droplets to be causal, you'd expect 1,000 different rainbows out of each mist water droplet. That's why it appears at best that the mist is the general screen for the phenomenon that's happening somewhere else. It's not causal in this case, otherwise you'd expect to have 1,000 different effects from 1,000 different causes, the water droplets. So it's a little unsatisfactory. I'm going to go with the dome outside, otherwise you need some sort of polarizing separator of some sort.
I mean, again, so
the thing is, each droplet does send out a rainbow of color. The problem is it sends it out at different angles. And so from one angle you get the layer or the arc, because you have an arc of the same angle. At one angle you get the green layer, so to speak. At another you get the red layer, for example. And even though every individual droplet is sending out a full spectrum of light from the rainbow, the only reason you see only one color from each band is because of the angle that you're looking at it.
Exactly.
It's a collective view from all of the droplets sending out the rainbows at different angles, creating that rainbow.
I don't know. It just sounds like bull doo-doo. I'm going to have to go with the dome.
Okay, cool. Prove the dome.
Arhelian, elves,
nothing to do with.
Did you just say elves?
Electrical activity called elves, like an elf. Yes, they named it that. Sprites, jets.
Jets prove the dome.
That appears to be electrical activity hitting some sort of surface.
Polarization.
No,
It seems like polarization has jack shit to do with color.
Correct. It does.
Yeah.
Polarized light is just a single plane.
Yeah. So there's no evidence for the dome in the slightest.
No.
No evidence that you'll accept, but we can agree to disagree. I
No,
know
you
that you're
don't
committed to
have
materialist
any
atheism, and therefore you're going to filter any evidence through that lens.
You
Understandable, but misguided.
Any evidence of the dome? Nobody has ever presented any evidence of the dome. It's just your bullshit.
Yeah. So I just want you to go and find out where it is. Go and tap on it. Go piss on the dome. Go take a wee on the dome. Like a dog. Lift your leg up, piss right on the dome.
Also, the activity of these rockets curving like they're trying to avoid a barrier seems to point to a there that's there. That they are trying to avoid on some level, possibly a solid barrier.
Oh, hold on, Lemon Bird. If you're trying to match the rotation of the Earth, right, and create an orbit, right, why would you fire the rocket straight up?
You wouldn't.
Why would we need to account for an orbit if we're not orbiting? If the Earth is motionless and at rest, that becomes absurd as well. I feel no movement, therefore I'm going to filter this evidence through a totally different lens. One where I trust my senses that say that it's flat and motionless and created.
Yeah, so why would we need to send rockets up in the first place if there was a dome?
Probably delivering a payload easily to the Antarctic secret military bases. Who knows? Maybe there's an attachment to the dome. They're elevating something up there, like an elevator. Who knows?
It's so fucking deluded. It just makes me laugh.
Is God
Nothing
so
but
weak that he
students
can't create
saying
an
it's
earth that's
round when
spherical?
it looks flat.
Oh,
Yes.
bless you, Lemon.
Yeah.
I
don't really believe that stuff.
Yeah, so when I look up at Mars through my telescope, and it looks like a fucking big old floating rock, kind of like the moon. You're gonna try and tell me that it's a star?
Mars, it looks like a big red light. You go to
No.
NASA for fake
No, no, no.
CGI effects. So the
No,
only
no,
thing
no.
that you're probably seeing is the dome topography with a light behind it, and you're saying it looks pretty solid. Maybe you're just looking at the solid dome.
No, so I can easily tell that Mars isn't just a light, right? Because we can get some really nice details with some telescopes that aren't piece of shit P900s.
So NASA is basically in on the con. We know that they're Masons. We know that they secretly worship the devil with the horns and everything in the Masonry. So it wouldn't be out of keeping with their character to try to take people away from God and toward man's Jesuit Masonic humanism with a fake model that atheizes billions.
Lemon Bird?
Practice that script.
Yeah.
It's got it down to
pretty good at it.
Lemon Bird, why is it that God is so weak that he can't create a planet that's spherical?
God can do whatever we want, but we are the weak vessels that accept deception despite obvious proof to the contrary.
So if God himself showed you that the earth was a sphere, would you accept it?
If it was God who did it and he told me and it was true, sure, but his word appears to point to otherwise. He said to Job, it's pressed out like clay under the signet ring. That's God himself telling Job, hey, it's pretty flat.
If Yahweh came to you, you knew it was Yahweh, and he showed you the earth as a sphere, would you accept that? And then how would you explain those verses in the Bible?
I guess I'd have to accept it, yes. But his word appears to say otherwise, so one thing is lying. Either his word is lying and or this fallen angel demon from hell pretending to be God is lying.
That people can understand, or he uses analogies
Hold on. Not God's word, the word of man. And then the people who he passed it down to, and then to the people they pass it down to, and then to the people they pass it down to, and then to the people they pass it down to, until some random schmuck down the line decided to write it all down.
That's like saying that writing on the page is the word of the pencil. The pencil is only the tool of the revelation, just like man. Man is simply the passive vessel of God's revelation. That is all. The real author is God.
So again,
Lemon Bird.
hold on, Lemon. You're right.
Wait,
You're right.
no.
Maybe. Have you ever played telephone?
Once or twice. Why?
So you know how things change every single time it gets retold. Details get forgotten or added.
He's heard
Preserve
those.
His word, so we trust Him and have faith that He has preserved His word, and we can go to Him and the Holy Ghost and get any needed elucidation. But God will preserve His word.
Really, because when we look at different different writings of the same passage, they all kind of say different things. Lemon Bird. So
That's
when they were
they're taking as we know, the Vatican is controlled by Satanists at the top, and so about a century ago, they started using inferior Alexandrian translations that have less concordance than the Byzantine tradition used for the King James version of the Bible. So we have a massive plot here and a huge conspiracy to give people substandard Bibles that concord with the New Age. What was that, Hannah?
Chief,
A lot of things don't
I
translate
disagree
to
with
English
your
very
analysis.
well.
I disagree with your analysis there, Chief, is because if there were like three separate people, they could tell the same story differently, and it's not at the same time they could tell it a little different, and it'd be the same story. Just because they tell it a little different doesn't make it different.
Yeah, to fight the telephone, you need to have a bunch of different, people, so you can have corroboration. And that's what we have with over 5,000 manuscripts from the Byzantine tradition that was used for the King James Bible that concord over 95% with one another. In comes the crypto-satanic Vatican trying to use the Alexandrian text from Alexandria, Egypt, which was the hotbed of Gnosticism and the occult. Never mind the fact that they probably swore vengeance on the Hebrews and their God when they left Egypt with all of their money, all of their wealth, and judging their gods and taking the firstborn on the way out. So these occultists are probably trying to pervert the Bible as some form of diabolical, demonic revenge.
Wait, Lemon Bird, I have a question for you then.
We'll have to look
You're
into that.
sitting here talking about the Byzantine text. Why do I need the Byzantine text when there are texts of the Old Testament that are written in Paleo-Hebrew, which date back to the 3rd century BC?
Because Jesus is the hinge on which the whole Bible rests.
Why can't I use the Hebrew to translate that into English?
An inferior New Testament translation, like with the Alexandrian perverted text, then the whole house just falls apart.